What is going on, all you spies? It's Ultimate Spy 53 here, and welcome to another episode of Reviewed. This is Reviewed number 63, and today I have my mom here with me again as a special guest, and we are going to be reviewing the movie About Time. So, About Time, what are your thoughts on it?
I liked it. I was surprised because you described it as a rom-com.
It was, because it had that comedy and that sweetness of a romance in it.
It does have that. It does have that, and I think as far as that goes, it's definitely a rom-com.
It kind of puts you into family life, like, oh, this kid wants to get a girlfriend, and he screws up all these times, and his dad's like, you know what, you can fix that. Just go back in time. Like, oh, really?
Well, and that was a sweet moment, you know, and I mean, because I don't think it's a spoiler to say that the guy travels in time.
No, because the dad says you can travel in time.
Right, because and because the movie's called About Time, and that's the whole description of it, and blah, blah, blah.
Pretty much.
I loved the scene where the dad is explaining to his son, you know, like, we need to have a talk.
Yeah.
We need to have a talk.
Have the talk.
And you're like waiting for the talk, and the talk is we don't know what the talk is going to be. I thought, you know, you inherited something, or he kind of did inherit something, the ability to travel in time. But it's so, up to that point, the movie's just been so much like, it's realism.
Yeah.
And then suddenly here's this element, and here's Bill Nighy, who's just such a, I don't know, he's always been this sort of sober, he plays these sort of sober, intellectual parts. Well, I guess not always, but I think of him in that Doctor Who episode, and I think about it. You remember?
Yeah, Dr. Black.
Was that what he was called?
Yeah, Dr. Black.
This is in the Van Gogh episode.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and then
Black.
he's also in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. He's
Slurry Bart.
Slurry Bart.
He was the craziest thing ever.
Yep. Yeah, well, and I mean, actually, that was part of the joy of the movie.
We have to review that movie.
Oh my gosh, you totally are. You totally are. Because I thought part of the joy of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy in film form was watching Bill Nighy say, "Slarty not fast."
But in this movie, he still did a good job at playing a character that was, interesting. He always has those interesting characters in movies.
He was really sweet. I think this was something I really liked about him, and I loved about that scene, because he does have that sort of college professor, and I guess the idea is that he's been a college professor in that role, right? Yeah. In the About Time, was that he was a college professor, and then he retired at like 50 and just played a lot of table tennis with his son, which we find out why later, but when he's having this conversation with him, I have something to tell you, and I guess I did expect it to be like a small fortune he'd inherited.
Yeah, that sounds like.
And when he says
he's like, are you serious?
We can travel in time. Yeah, this was like, okay. Even though I knew what the movie was about, I didn't expect that, and I didn't.
Well,
expect
I didn't tell you, because I'm like, well, it has to do with time travel, and I didn't specify what it was about. And then you're like, oh my god.
Well, I'm a sucker for time travel.
Yeah.
So, but it was, I loved.
It had good casting. I had Domhnall Gleeson, who was he was Bill Weasley in Harry Potter, and also.
See, no, I didn't recognize him. Okay, so wait, Bill is the one. Is it Bill that works with dragons in Romania?
Yeah, in Harry Potter, and he also played General Hux in episode 7 of Star Wars. And in this movie, he was the main character.
Okay.
Tim, who lives in a British family, because he's also British, and like all the other characters, Lindsay Duncan, who
because it's a British film.
Yeah. Well, it has some American people in it, but it's
one American.
It's mainly British people. You got Bill Nighy.
Because it takes place in Britain.
Yeah. Great actor. You got, well, there's one exception. Margot Robbie. She's Australian. So it's Margot Robbie.
Is she his sister?
Yeah, no, she was the crush that Tim first crushed.
Oh, the first crush. Oh yeah. She's gorgeous, isn't she?
Oh yeah. Totally.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and she's like the cousin that comes for a visit, so presumably.
And then
lives in Australia.
I love the moment when he comes back to her room and he's like,
well, you could have done that to me. You could have, come and talk to me earlier. Like, right. And then it's like, it's like, try again. It's like every mistake he makes, it's like, right. Sorry, be right back.
Wait, was it what when he went back to tell his dad? You could have told me earlier. Which scene are you talking about?
When he first goes to the girl played by Margot Robbie.
Okay.
That he does like, yeah, come back tomorrow. When he first week that she's there.
Okay.
He makes a mistake of not coming, earlier and talking to her
and telling her about his feelings.
Yeah, and they're just
right.
like, come back later. You should have come back. You should have talked to me earlier about that. He's like, right. I'll be right back.
Just a minute. Yeah.
Just a minute.
Well, I think what I really enjoyed with this film was that here is this young man who has the ability to time travel.
Yeah.
And
a concept it's a very amazing concept.
Well, it's a concept that's been used. I mean, I guess the question anytime you're doing a time travel thing is like, what are you going to do with it that's new and fresh?
Right.
Because like it's been done. People have been writing about time travel for a really long time. So, what are you going to do with it that makes it interesting? And what I liked about this was that the choices that he makes when he's traveling in time, sometimes they're things that will benefit him and save him from embarrassment and so forth. But a lot of the time, it's to do some kind thing for someone else.
Like I remember the moment when he finds when he meets Mary and then he gets to the number and then he's like, oh no, I probably should fix this one thing. It's like every time he fixes one thing, it affects something else. So he'll do something and be like, I better call Mary. No, I didn't meet Mary.
Yeah, and Mary is of course the love interest.
Yeah.
So, and
originally
he has this wonderful date with her, and it looks like things are going to work out, and then things get kind of messed up.
The blind date. That was a really fun concept.
Cool.
The blind date, literally
that's
a blind date.
That's a real thing.
In Europe,
where they do these. Well, I think that they do it here too, where they have a restaurant where they have all the lights.
It was really interesting.
And so,
on the first time I saw,
someone without being able to see them.
Wait.
Yeah.
This is literally a blind. I mean, when you think of a blind date in real life, it's like, oh, you're meeting someone you don't even know.
It's a real thing.
But when they meant like a blind date, it's literally a blind date. Lights are off. Just you can't see anybody.
Would you do it? Would you go on one of those?
It'd be hard.
Yeah, but I mean, would it make it any different? Like you go and be in a completely dark room with strangers, and all you can do is just talk, and you can't see each other.
It'd be a little awkward, but.
Well, yeah, it would be
awkward.
For
him, for Tim, the character, he seemed to be doing all right. He seemed to be, he's just talking to blackness.
Yeah.
A voice, talking to a voice.
Yeah.
And then he waits for the person to come out, and he's like, "Wow, you're gorgeous." Like his reaction is like, oh.
Yeah.
He's like shocked, like, "Wow."
Yeah, but I liked it that he would go on a blind date. I liked it that he was a character who would go out on a date where he couldn't see the person first.
Yeah, of course.
That he's interested in more than just what she looks like.
It's true. One character that he was kind of humorous, and he was a dick. Was the I guess the landlord or the dad's
the dad's college friend who was one of his old theater buddies.
If you don't know him, he actually played the actor who played him. Actually, I believe he played Cutler Beckett or one of the main characters, one of those secondary characters of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise.
Is that right?
I think he played Cutler Beckett. I could be wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, this is a character where Tim goes to live with him, to get a room with him to live in college, and but when he arrives, this character, what was his name?
I want to say Harry, but I might be
it was something like that. But when he arrives, the man shows no indication that he's even heard that he's coming. He's just like, and he's horrible. He's horrible to him. He's like mad that he's there. I was in the middle of the best idea, now you ruined it.
Now you've ruined it. He's like, oh, sorry.
But so where this movie went on beyond being a rom-com was
it had humor and it had sweetness to it. It also had that feeling of family and like making the right choices.
I liked that. Well, also in a rom-com, the movie ends when the couple gets married.
Yeah, most
You know,
sometimes.
or they get together, or they say they love each other, or they kiss, or they whatever. You know, whatever the thing is that it's building up for. A rom-com ends at that point when it's like now they're together and they're going to be together. So this continued on. It wasn't just about his romance with Mary. It was now they become a family. Now they're having children. Now we have the interactions with Tim's family members, and a lot. This was a movie about Tim and his dad, his relationship with his dad, which was really lovely.
And because he wants to find a girlfriend, and there was some great moments where he used his time travel ability with like when he first meets his crush after forever. Like the first few times he goes to meet her with her friend, he gets the wrong idea twice. He's like, he's like, this is my girlfriend. Oh, I didn't know. And he's like, no, not that kind of girlfriend. It's like, oh, crap.
Oh, where he thought she was gay.
Yeah, like that's gay. That's great. And then he does it again, and then he comes back. He's like, I didn't mean you're gay. He's like, I'm gay. It's like, oh. So he goes back.
But even in that scene, he's trying to save himself from embarrassment. He's trying to like go back and fix it because he just really embarrassed himself. Because, like, first the old friend that the girl that he had first fallen in love with, she was insulted that he thought she was gay, and then it turned out her friend was gay, and then so it was like he kept insulting someone, but he kept going back in time and trying to make that situation right. Not just because he was horribly embarrassed himself, I think because he wanted for them to feel okay.
I thought the really funny moment was the third time he did it. Like his friend was like, "Oh, that's her. That's the old crush I had who remember that. Let's ignore that."
Then he decides he's not gonna.
He's like,
of course, then she catches up with him.
It's my old crush who ruined my life.
Yeah.
Move on. That was funny. It had some good comedy.
Well, I thought the other thing I really liked about this was his relationship with his sister.
Yeah. Like he really cares about her.
She's adorable, and she's kind of like the kid who never grows up. Yeah. She's always kind of funny and affectionate and silly, but as she gets older, she's making a lot of really dumb choices, particularly with guys, and it starts to really wreck her life. And what I loved about this is that the Tim character, he loves his sister, and he's looking out for what's best for her. And I think we don't want to do spoilers here, but there is a scene where...
Well, it's been out for years, but...
Yeah, but if people that are watching this might not have seen it and might be watching this, and so that they might decide whether they want to see it, right?
Yeah.
So there's a scene where he has the opportunity to help his sister fix some mistakes that she made, via time travel. And
ends up happening that
there's some complications with it about bad things that happen for his own family, for his own wife and kids. So, he has to make this tough choice about, am I going to just let my sister face her mistakes?
Or is it going to impact my family?
Right, but am I going to let my sister face her mistakes? Maybe it's better for the sister to have to face and fix her own mistakes.
Right.
Because if you are always running around trying to save people from themselves, they don't always want to be saved. And they might, they don't have to make any choice. They might just go back and, continue to make really poor choices.
That's true.
So.
I mean, it had some good moments, like really, really funny moments in it. I mean, I was surprised when I saw the movie. I was laughing, not so hard, but it was a very enjoyable movie. It had that, that vibe that I really liked. The times when he meets Mary for the first time, like when he's waiting, like he's desperate. He's wanting to wait at this gallery for hours.
Oh my gosh!
That was so
that
sweet.
he can meet her, and then she's never met him before.
That was
oh
so.
my
That was
gosh,
so
that
sweet.
was really not hours, days. Because did you notice his clothing changes?
Oh, that's true.
He
Wow.
was there for day after day after day, all
Just
day long,
desperate.
waiting, hoping that she would walk into that gallery. And that was, I mean, just his patience and his decision that this is the woman that I really want to be with.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to do anything I can.
And then of course when he finally, finds her, it's really awkward. It's like, oh.
Yeah, you're a total stranger. Well, yeah, that's right, because I traveled back in time, and then it turned out I never met you. Oops.
That's
So
true.
I'm curious about why did you choose to see this movie? Why did you pick this one to watch and to review?
Because I'm a big rom-com fan. I mean, I've seen a lot.
You are?
I've seen a lot of
How come
rom-com
you never
movies.
watch rom-coms with me? I like watching rom-coms, and
It
so
kind
does,
of depends on what
and
they
so
are.
do both your sisters.
Kind of depends on what they are. But
Yeah.
this movie, it stuck out to me because like I'd heard of it, and I didn't really know much about it, and I looked at the plot, and I looked at the stuff like that. That kind of interesting because it had that it was it was the kind of rom-com with the plot of time travel, because I love time travel. Like the idea of time travel, even though obviously time travel couldn't happen in the real world, but if it did, this is the perfect way to do it. Having a
we're traveling in time.
having a closed out space where you can just do this and you suddenly somewhere else.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I mean, it's a really good concept. It had some good casting, some really fun characters to play with. I honestly, this was a great. It wasn't the best movie from best rom-com ever, but it was definitely a one worth watching, and it's funny.
I agree. Yeah,
It
I thought it was
has
worth
some
watching.
really good moments, and it has like
It has some depth.
you can connect with the character.
I mean,
Like,
he
he has a narrative.
I don't want just silly. I want depth.
He has his own narrative. Like he
Yeah.
narrates the story. Domhnall Gleeson is the character. He actually narrates the
Right.
story. And it's like you want to keep watching. You want to.
Okay, so I want to
interesting.
come back to like rom-com.
Yes.
Like, you watch rom-coms all the time?
Not all the time, but I have a
What do
few.
you watch? Which rom? No, I thought all you watched was superhero movies.
That's not true.
Okay, well,
I
so
review
like,
superhero movies, but
okay, well, so like, what are some of your favorite rom-coms?
it's a tough one.
What are some other ones you've watched?
I remember just watching Dear Santa. It's not really a comedy, but
Oh,
it has.
yeah,
It's definitely a romantic.
What's that? Okay, maybe I'm thinking of a different one. I don't know.
I also watched Live It to Beaver.
Leave It to
That's
Beaver.
a 90s one, and that's really
That's
sweet.
not a rom-com, but it's a comedy.
It has some comedy, and it's a little romance because...
Did they do a movie of Leave It to Beaver?
Yes, I saw it. It was very good.
This was an old television show from the 50s
Yeah, I did
and
look it up.
60s. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I used to watch it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a goofy show.
But with this particular movie about time, it's just saying about the way it's presented. It's one of those movies where it's the way it's told. You can connect with the character, and you can really want to know where he's going to go next, and he finally gets his dream of being with this girl, played by beautiful Rachel McAdams, who's been in a lot of amazing movies.
She's just our own.
Yeah, I didn't even know she was
She's
Canadian.
so-
I thought she
she's
was
so
American,
appealing,
but she's
yeah.
apparently Canadian.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and she'd been in a lot of movies like Sherlock Holmes and a bunch of other movies that you really wouldn't know about. But in this movie, she played a character like she was played the only I believe the only American character in the entire movie, which is very interesting because the movie is supposed to be a British movie with a little bit of has some Margot Robbie's an Australian actress, but it's mainly British people, but with because for example when Tim is first meeting Mary's parents, he brings up American parents.
Right.
Which makes it think you're in a British setting, but you're having American people, which is very interesting.
So, did you notice right away that she was American?
Well, by her accent.
I did not notice
And then you
it.
realize
I did not.
that the actress is actually Canadian. It's like, oh my.
Well,
goodness.
okay, right, but I mean, I didn't notice. I was like, I don't know, when she spoke and had an American accent because that's the way I speak.
Yeah.
Right. It just like was inaudible to me. And it wasn't until he said something about her being American, or maybe when he said American parents, I was like, oh yeah.
Well, I knew
It's
because
like,
the accent.
How did I not notice?
Of course, then you.
No,
you
but I just didn't
you
notice.
realize the actress is American.
Right.
Is Canadian.
Well, sure, but I
which
didn't
is
notice
very
it.
similar to American
No, this
people.
is in Downton Abbey. Have you watched Downton Abbey with us?
No.
There is a character, the lady, what is her name? I can't remember, but she's the wife character, the matriarch, not the matriarch. Anyway, she is American, and it took me a little while. I think it struck me then in the first episode. Oh my gosh, she's American, and then she has a mother played by Shirley MacLaine who was just really hilarious. I mean, I really think that you could get to like Downton Abbey if you watched it. If you liked this, I think you could get to like Downton Abbey. But it's really, you just get so hooked.
One moment that I really liked about this movie was, and while we're watching it, you commented on the fact that you were like really, intrigued by it when Tim brought his sister back in time, and then went back after the sister punching the boy that she liked. Their dad is like
punching him because he was a jerk.
Their dad is like smiling at them. He's like, I know what's going on here.
Ah.
He's like, because he's like, he knows what's going on. He knows that they time traveled.
Uh-huh.
Because even though he's a past from the past, he still knows what's going on because.
I loved the scenes where Tim is popping in to ask his dad advice on time travel.
Mm-hmm.
That was really sweet.
And the times that he makes mistakes, I love the fact that he's doing that, or like the one sex scene that happened where he's like, oh, I should over a shoe. I probably should fix that. So you get and then that was really. I mean, one of those. It wasn't too sexual. It was.
They quit early enough that made me happy. So I mean,
even for an R-rated movie, you would expect a little more, but it was. I mean, I don't know
liked
for
it that they cut it off where they did,
because most R-rated movies show more. But I was surprised by that because if you're taking an R-rated movie, most R-rated movies they show more nudity, but this time they didn't, and that was.
Well, a lot of them
interesting.
They show way more than I would prefer. It's kind of like give them their moment, I mean, I don't have to go with them.
Yeah, exactly. But this
guy, let's just close the door here. Let's let this couple have their moment.
It was really, and then of course when Timmy's like, "I'll be right back," and then he's like, he makes sure that it goes perfectly. If they messes up a little bit, he makes it go perfectly. I was like, really, like that's good of him to know what to do and what not to do because.
Of course, it means that he gets
4
nights of making love with her.
Because he's like
back over and over again.
Because he's like, okay, I made a mistake. What can I do to fix it? Okay, so make sure that I don't jump over this. Make sure to unclip her bra from this side. Okay, now I can do it.
Yeah.
Back in time. All right, I'm good.
Yeah.
And that was, but the way
there was a sweetness about that too.
Yeah.
I just even though I don't go for this. Because, gosh, wasn't that supposed to be their first date or something? I didn't like that. I don't like the idea of a girl taking him up to her apartment on the very first date.
When he finally, asks to marry her, it's perfect way, and then she's like, I'm glad you didn't ask me to marry you in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But it was, overall, I would say this movie's definitely worth it, and if you like rom-coms, it's filled with, it's funny. I think it's very funny. Not too much of everything, just the perfect amount of just goodness in it. It has some.
That's what it was.
Touching moments, and it's
goodness.
A really fun movie to just watch. I mean, it's 2 hours, but it's a good 2 hours to just watch and really connect with the character of Tim.
You kind of get to the end and you feel good.
Yeah.
I think that was. I felt it's a feel good movie,
Yeah.
But I felt good at the end, and there were times where I thought, they have this time travel plot. And so,
which is a very interesting idea.
Right. And so they're going to do something like have one of the kids die. Or, I was expecting there would be some horrible thing. And I was grateful to the screenwriters that they didn't do that.
Yeah.
It had the amount of drama and the amount of loss that was needed to make it work.
Honestly, I connected with my own life because I struggle with girls, and he struggled with girls too.
Yeah.
And it's the first movie that I've ever seen where I actually connected with the character, and I could connect it to my own life because like I can feel what he's going through. And it's like,
Mm.
wow, the way that Domhnall Gleeson portrayed the character of Tim, he did it so gracefully, in a way
Yeah.
you want to feel sympathy for him.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
one
I
of those,
agree.
It's
Yeah.
it's a really good romantic comedy that makes you feel something for the character.
Yeah.
For the main character,
Some
because he's
good
like,
acting.
you know,
and
he's got some
directing.
people in his life that he doesn't like, and some people that he does approve. Like, you know, I remember there's one point in the movie, like when they're doing the best man speech,
Mm-hmm.
and he, like, I'll do, or before that it was like, I'll take one plate off clothing for every time every plan you have. That was, I mean, and then he's like,
That was
best man, I'll take this for the best man, and then
Yeah.
the best man speech happened. It's like, and then he has like his best friend talking about, he's like, you know, I probably shouldn't have done that. It's like, okay.
Oh yeah, and then he keeps switching out the best man.
So really funny. And then,
That
like,
was wonderful.
his other friend is like, this is all the girls that he tried to date. It's like, no.
No, this one's not the best.
No.
We're fixing this.
I'm like, okay, Dad can do it.
Yes. Yeah. And that
Dad is
was,
the one who can do the best of because all they do
which
is
was
like,
perfect because
you know,
the center of the movie, you know, is Tim, but then the center of Tim's life really is his dad. Well, I mean, it's his wife.
yeah,
too.
that was a really funny one because it's like,
Yeah.
it's like this guy, he's saying something that I don't quite like. Next one, he's still kind of being a jerk.
Yeah.
Okay, now he's kind of being a little too weird. Okay, yeah, Dad, definitely that's Dad.
Yep.
But anyway, I honestly, to rate it, I would give it a perfect score.
Would you?
I had no problem with it. I mean,
Yeah.
there
I'd
really
give it-
wasn't any problem with the movie. I liked it. I really liked it.
I'd give it a high score.
I didn't like. I'm not crazy about it, but I thought it was definitely a good movie, and I deserves a perfect 10. What do you think?
Thumbs up.
What'd you rate it? Out of 10.
We don't do thumbs up here. Like Cisco.
I have a
and
rating
Bert.
system.
Oh, okay.
What would you rate it?
10 is the top.
Yeah.
Sure, I'd give it a 10.
Okay. And overall, I really, it kind of stood up to me as a really good movie, and has a, I feel like it connected me with the character.
Yeah.
That's why I like it so much.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is enough for this review. I think we've made our points, and I hope you enjoyed reviewing it with me.
Yeah, well, and I enjoyed watching it too. Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah,
with
it
me.
was really, like, this looks like a fun movie.
Yep.
So anyway,
Alright.
yeah, thank you for watching this episode of Reviewed. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up.
For sure.
Don't worry, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're new, if you like to read like this. And I will see you next time for another episode. Alright, bye.